Human Rights Council is going to be putting America's police under a microscope on Monday. And guess which nation the UN has invited to lead the charge? Saudi Arabia. John's blasting the hypocrisy and wants to stop funding the UN now.
Absolutely. The UN is one of the most corrupt, inept industries in the history of our country. The reason the Oil for Food program didn't work against Saddam Hussein was because of Kofi Annan's corrupt United Nations. I tell you what I would do. I would take the United Nations, that valuable real estate on the East River, and I would move it down to Haiti. Haiti could use the economic boost. New York could use that great real estate on the East River, and we get rid of all those idiots in the great city of New York.
Okay, Nomi?
What, would the Clinton Foundation take over? And Saudi Arabia should not be in the UN. I mean, let's be clear here. They're violating human rights just as much as they think the United States is, if not more. What is it that you can't throw? If you're in a glass house, you can't throw stones, or what is that metaphor? This is the problem with the UN is that it is very bureaucratic. It does very good work. I mean, we need them for peacekeeping troops. We need them to facilitate relationships with other state departments around the world. They do serve a need around the world. The problem is they are incredibly bureaucratic, and we're dealing with a lot of countries that have a different gauge for corruption than we do.
Well, Gary B., and we're paying a lot of money for this, and now they're criticizing us?
It's the ultimate gall, isn't it, Brenda? We don't pay a lot of money, Brenda, to the UN. We pay 20% of the UN's budget. 20%, for crying out loud. Plus, they rack up the tabs there in that part of New York like crazy. I mean, the amount of unpaid parking stuff there is just $3 billion a year, Brenda. I would counter what Nomi says. It always sounds good, kind of like the Federal Reserve. You have this pie in the sky, these peacekeeping troops, and then you get to the reality that John says. You have a corrupt organization that's supposedly charged with enforcing all these moral ethics. It's not their job, and they're inept at it, and it's costing us a fortune. I think we should just withdraw from the UN, or as John says, send it to Haiti. Maybe we can visit every once in a while.
Okay, Jonas, do we have a reason to cut funding to the UN?
No. First of all, if every country with human rights violation wasn't allowed in the UN, it'd be like Sweden in the UN, and that'd be it. So let's just put it in perspective. At the end of the day, us not paying now because they're pointing a finger at us is like a kid who takes his blocks away because they don't like the way the game's going. It's a little rude. Yeah, obviously we're better than most countries when it comes to this sort of stuff, but we could use a little scrutiny globally occasionally. We got an issue with this police state getting a little out of control. Okay. So I welcome it, even though we're obviously a lot better than every other country.
Okay, I got to get Lisa in here. Go ahead.
Let's actually put it in perspective. We're talking about a country that stones women, that permits violence against women. There's a little bit of a difference than what they're criticizing the United States for doing. The reality is the UN is an abject failure. They failed to maintain international peace, and we should absolutely cut off funding.
All right. Thanks, guys. And thank you.